I drank my way out of a 25-year marriage. At age 50, I got divorced, I got sober, I became an empty nester, and I was living alone for the first time in my life. I had been lucky enough to be an at-home mom for 15 years when my children were young, so I hadn't worked outside of my home in 15 years. Now I was alone, and I felt rudderless. When you get sober, the most popular recovery programs advise that you avoid all the people, places, and things that you were around when you were drinking. Don't go into a barber shop unless you want a haircut, they often say. It would have been foolish for me to detox and then to return to the diseased soil that contributed to my downfall in the first place. So I had to change a great deal about my life. All of us will face life challenges that will require us to adjust our sails from time to time. I just happened to have 3 big ones happen at once. So I had to change everything about my life. At age 50, I decided as a gift to myself that I would try 50 new things to determine how I wanted to live the next chapter of my life. You don't have to wait until you're 50 to make changes. If you don't like how your life is going, do something to change it. Because not making any changes, that's a choice too. Some of the 50 things I tried included spiritual endeavors, learning and teaching, travel, thrill-seeking ventures, social activities, and lifestyle changes. Each taught me something about who I am and who I wanted to become. Some of the 50 things I tried during my 50th year included, well, the biggest thing was that I sold most of my belongings, donated the rest, and put the rest in storage. I moved to the other side of the world. I volunteered in a village high in the Himalayas, 8 hours from the closest road. As we neared the village, I could hear music, and I could see people on the next summit. The entire village had come out to welcome me with music and handmade garlands. Some of the villagers had met me at the closest road, 8 hours down. The men carried on their heads the school supplies that I had brought to donate 8 hours up the mountain. The people in the village shared their scarce food with me. They invited me into their homes to discuss ideas over tea. They trusted me with their children, who I was able to teach in their one-room schoolhouse with mud floors. All of these children were so eager to learn. Their hero, revered by all, was a young man from the village who had walked almost the entire length of Nepal to Kathmandu, where he got jobs washing dishes to put himself through college. He became an interpreter and was living in the United States. It was this man, a friend of a friend, who introduced me to his country and to his lovely people. My experience in Nepal became an exercise in cultivating gratitude. I was able to be in the Himalayas, the physically beautiful place full of natural grandeur. I got to watch the sunrise from one of the highest points on earth. Most importantly, I got to learn a more simple way of living. I got to appreciate that what was most important were not things, but relationships. The people in this village lacked electricity and running water, yet they were among the happiest people I had ever met. Their families were very close, and they practiced a simpler way of communal living in which everyone contributed to the welfare of all. I no longer take my blessings for granted. I can still walk, I can see, I can hear, I can smell. In fact, at the first restaurant I visited when I returned to the United States, I marveled at how clean the restroom was. I had been using an outhouse for months. I blurted out, without even realizing I said it aloud, "It smells so good in here!" Well, the bathroom quickly emptied, and I'm sure the other patrons wondered about my sanity. If we focus on our blessings, we will always have enough. I have people who care about me. I have a job that enables me to travel. I have enough resources that I can keep expanding my horizons. Other things I tried during my 50th year included incorporating a meditation practice that allows me to approach almost anything in life from a more centered place. I wrote a book that has served as a vehicle to help thousands of people reinvigorate their lives. I got a motorcycle and a sidecar for my dog. I learned how to be fully present and to listen, to understand, as opposed to listening to formulate my response. I adopted my own brand of minimalism, whereby for every one new thing I bring into my home, I recycle, donate, or discard 2 things, so I will not saddle my children with a bunch of belongings when I leave. But most importantly, I learned that it was experiences, as opposed to any material things, that bring me true peace, serenity, and happiness. So what were the 3 biggest lessons from my year spent reframing my life? Number 1, no one is responsible for my happiness but me. If I continued to use outside affirmations as a barometer of my self-worth, I would never feel enough. But I am enough, and so are you. I cannot control what other people think, and neither can you. So I've learned how to focus on what I think, and if what I am doing aligns with who I am and what my values are. And if it doesn't, I make a change. Number 2, live with intention. Many people, like myself, spent a lot more time being careful about how we spend our money, as opposed to how we spend our time. Yet time is the one thing none of us can buy. It's of uncertain duration. If we waste it, that's on us. You can't get it back. People on their deathbeds are never lamenting, "Oh, I wish I had worked more," or "I wish I had worked harder." But many people at the end of their lives regret not spending enough time with the people who meant the most to them. Number 3, surround yourself with people who bring out the best in you. Avoid energy vampires. We all can create healthy boundaries, even with family members who might be super negative. Life is too short to set ourselves up for regret. So next time life throws you a curveball, consider this. Are you going to use that experience for the greater good? For example, somebody recently gave me a home DNA test. I thought, I already know my ancestry, but I'll take it. Maybe I'll figure out from what Western European countries my father's side came from. I had been told we were descendants on his side of Irish and English immigrants. I opened the envelope with the results. I thought there must be a mistake. Lifelong Catholic Maria, it said, was half Southeast Asian, my mother is an immigrant from the Philippines, and half Ashkenazi Jew. What that meant is my father, who had raised me, is not my biological father. My entire self-identity was upended. I had spent so much time uncovering who I thought the authentic Maria was, only to suffer the ground moving beneath my feet. But we all get to choose our responses to whatever life throws our way. We need not just react. We can all practice the pause, look for the lesson, and determine if that experience is going to define us or teach us something. Because I had spent all that time centering myself and discovering who I am, I was able to process this news, this life-altering news, in a healthy way, to wear life like a loose garment, and to consider this news as another aspect of who I am. I now have more family members to get to know, and I have another chance at having a healthy father-daughter relationship, and it's going well. What can you do now to use your experiences to help other people? That experience about finding out my father is not my father has enabled me to help other people navigate the Pandora's box of DNA test results. But I bet that something has happened to you that you might consider sharing with another person so they don't feel so alone. We all can bloom where we are planted. I believe that everything that happened to me happened for a reason. I now have 9 years of hard-fought sobriety, and I am helping other women who are struggling with addictions. They open up to me because they know my painful story. We share with each other that we each grew sick and tired of being sick and tired. I had been raped when I was a teenager. I didn't tell anyone about that for decades. I thought that it was my fault because I was drunk and I had put myself in a very dangerous situation. But now I am helping other women who have been sexually assaulted. I am able to bear witness to their pain because they know my story. I used to be consumed with self-hatred, but now I'm helping other people learn how to love themselves. I can do this because it happened to me too. I am not just a survivor anymore. I am a thriver, and I am helping other people do the same. We all have a purpose in our lives, and that purpose can change from time to time. For me, my purpose is to make this world a better place because I'm here. Sometimes that means simply picking up trash when I'm walking my dogs. Sometimes that means reaching out to someone that I know is suffering and easing their burden, even if it's just in a small way. I do this because if I can help make someone else happier, it makes me happy too. If I can do an esteemable act, it raises my self-esteem. All of us, again, can bloom where we are planted. So, are you going to learn something from your experiences, which are all opportunities for learning something? Are you going to, number 1, be responsible for your own happiness? Number 2, live with intention. And number 3, surround yourself with people who uplift you. You get to choose. Do not waste this opportunity because your life is happening right now. Thank you.